well, you won't do any sport at all, will you? And I said, well, actually, I said, I do a little bit of cycling. He said, oh, eyebrows went up to the ceiling sort of thing. Oh, he said, well, he said, take it very steady. He said, do you get out of breath at all? I said, well, occasionally. He said, well, if the hills get too hard, he says, you must get off and walk. He says, I'm sure the boys will wait for you.
Cycling history is full of great heroes. There's people like Rick Van Looy, the fantastic Belgian sprinter roadman, like Gimondi, the Italian champion, like Eddie Merckx, of course, and Fausto Coppi. But to me, the greatest hero of them all is not a hero at all. She's a heroine. Her name was Beryl Burton.
Come on, Beryl. Come on, Beryl.
So here's a close-up of the Queen of British time trialling on her way home. Come along, Beryl.
Yes, the Queen of British time trialling. Beryl Burton certainly was that. She reigned supreme in the sport from her first championship victory in 1958 to her final one in 1986. One of Britain's cycling's champion of champions, Beryl Burton won the Women's BBAR, the British Best All-Rounder title, an incredible 25 years in a row between 1959 and 1983. Through sheer force of will, she became arguably the greatest woman cyclist ever, and yet she only did it part-time and she remained an amateur throughout her life. As well as time trialling, Beryl excelled on the track and on the road. On the track in the 3,000 metre pursuit, Beryl Burton was world champion 5 times. In road racing, she was world champion twice, second once and a national champion no fewer than 12. So, 7 World Cycling Championship titles, more than 90 domestic championships and numerous national records, all achieved by a working housewife and an amateur rider. Also a Morley Cycling Club member at this time was Peter Jackson. As well as enjoying cycling with his brother Tony, they were keen amateur cine film enthusiasts. And he remembers filming the club out on their early Sunday morning runs up to the Yorkshire Dales.
That was our wheel with a clubman, we called it. And we set off from Leeds, went up the Dales, and Beryl was with us. And then we rode to what they called Strines, where we had the hill climb. Of course, Beryl didn't ride in the hill climb because it was men only. And we had the hill climb, and then we came home.
Charlie Burton remembers taking Beryl out with the club on those early Sunday morning runs.
When she actually came out with the club, because that was early on, the first year she was being pushed and hanging around behind us, and then the next year she was riding with us, and by the third year she was at the front and leaving us.
We had a talk about doing some filming, and we went to buy a camera. It was hellish expensive, so what we did was we shared the expense of the camera, and then of course when we'd taken 1 or 2 films we wanted to see them, so we had to go and buy a projector, and we called ourselves Morley Cycling Club Film Unit. We learned as we went along, and we experimented a little lot, but we couldn't afford to waste film. Too expensive.
Big Dave will weld his hands out while she wound the wool up.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yes, she always had editing with it at one time.
Yeah.
I don't think she ever knit while she rode.
With encouragement from Charlie, Beryl had now found something she both enjoyed and was to become very good at.